Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. Hey, if you are new to this page, do me a favor. Go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, notification bell. If you've been rolling with me for a while, hit that notification bell. Excuse my voice. I got these allergies going on. I just want to briefly talk about a few things and about a powerful dream. And it's going to help you in this market. Anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell, but I want you to do your own due diligence and your own research, good people. That's what this page is about. Fundamentals, doing your own research. I will tell you, you don't have to know how to chart. You don't have to be the best fundamentalist to actually make money in the stock market. I can tell you one of the ways that you can make money, and that is this. You can actually find, I suggest, 5 good stock. I would make them at least 3 of them blue chip. And then what I suggest is, and you guys have heard me say this many times, if you really truly want to create generational wealth, then you have to be willing to hold a stock for a generation. And so if not, a minimum of 5 years. And then all you have to do is dollar cost average in. So I would look at stocks like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Meta. You know, Meta is going to change the name. It's not going to be FB anymore. It's going to be META, Meta. And I would look at those long term, right? But then there's some new stock, some new players that are even low cap that are already oversold, you know, and even like PayPal, companies like that. So my challenge to you on today is leave me a comment on 3, a minimum of 3. And for those of you that are new to this trading game, what I would charge you with, I'm not going to tell you, but I want you to do the research because the information is there. I want you to look at what blue chip stocks are. Then I want you to study what future earnings are, right? And then future forecasts. But I also want you to study what a multiple is, right? In most cases, 15 is a fair multiple for companies, but not in every sector. So if you find a company and it's trading under 15, so the PE ratio, price to earnings, is under 15, say 14, 10, 9, and their future earnings look good, or their future forecasts look good, meaning they're going to make money and they have cash, then those are the type of companies I want you guys to look at for long term. And I want you to be willing to hold that stock for a minimum of 5 years, 5 to 10 years. And that's what I've been saying. Some of those stock, for those of you that are new to the page and don't know, I created 3 portfolios. One is ETFs, one is high growth, and what was the other one? Oh, and the other one's blue chip. And so you can actually go to the Larry Jones, just look at the search engine in YouTube on my page, and just type in, or just Google Larry Jones $5 a day challenge. And I give you some suggestions, okay? And even just a bare minimum of investing $5 a day, I'm showing you where you can create wealth and you don't have to even worry about what the market does. But you gotta be in it, good people, for a minimum of 5 years, right? And so that's what I want to leave with you guys. I wanted to talk about the Amazon split, and I wanted to talk about how to truly create generational wealth, even in a volatile market like this, in a market that goes up and down, and you're going to see more days where the market opens green and close red, or the market opens red and close green. You're going to see a fluid of days like that all the way through the Q2. I can just tell you that. Just volatility, because of all of the moving parts. Now, the last part I want to leave with you guys is, for those of you that know me, I'm a spiritual person. I'm a positive person. I like to stay positive. We don't get to negativity. I'm going to suggest to you guys that you are giant slayers, meaning that if you're slaying a giant and an ant is on your shoulder, those are your naysayers and telling you crazy, you don't know what you're doing, don't want your dreams to come true. You don't worry about an ant on your shoulder when you're trying to slay a giant. So go be a giant slayer. And so what I'm going to say is I'm going to piggyback on the number one selling book in the history of the world talks about this guy named Joseph, right? And this guy named Joseph had brothers. And for those of you that know, you remember the Technicolor dream coat. That's what this story was about. His name was Joseph. His father favored him, and his father was up in age, and he was one of his younger sons, and he favored him, and he actually gave him a multicolored coat. His brothers got jealous of him. But what I want to tell you is, and this is the secret to how to make money actually in a upcoming recession. Joseph had a dream that a stalk of grain, you know how you binding together the stalks of grain? He had a dream that he has stood up higher and his brothers actually bowed down to him. I'm going to say that's you, because you're studying and you're getting ready and you're doing the hard work, and your family members, your cousin, your wives, your girlfriends, your husbands, your boyfriends, they just think you're wasting time. But you are the one that's going to break the generational financial curse, because you're on the road. You are seeking. Faith without works is dead. So you are doing the work that is tied to faith, right? Then what happens was he actually had a slew of things that happened to him. I want you guys to read the story for yourself. Actually wind up in prison. And then next thing you know, he has a couple of dreams that leads him to Pharaoh's house, right? So here's what I'm going to say. There was a dream of a upcoming famine, or should I say an upcoming recession. But check this out. A recession was coming, right? And Pharaoh wanted to know, what should I do? All right. And so he needed this dream interpreted. This same Joseph interpreted that dream to him and said a famine is coming. But he also said, take a fifth of the last 7 years of plenty that we have and store it up. All right. So what have I been telling you guys? So they had a famine coming. We have a recession coming. Store it up. Cash up. So what I mean by cash up, you guys know I've been talking about Weeble and how we just putting money in Weeble. We're not spending it. No, I'm sorry, not Weeble. Weeble is what we have already. We're storing up in Moo. So my link is below. That one, we're just storing up. We're not doing anything with it right now. And because we're getting prepared for what? The famine. All right. I'm telling you, this story is going to help you guys when you read it. And then what happens was they were storing up food. They were storing up a fifth of the crop and all of that. And then what happens was they had enough to last through the famine. Of course, that famine lasts 7 years. So they had 7 years of plenty. Then they had 7 years of famine, right? We're not going to have a 7-year recession. But the answer and how to handle it is the exact same. Store it up and get ready, all right? And just like in the famine, there was job loss. People were hungry. They couldn't eat. They couldn't work. And unfortunately, that's going to happen in a recession. So right now, I want you guys to store up and think about, just like in the story of Joseph, they took a fifth of the 7 years of plenty. And so I know for those of you that don't have, all of your winnings from last year, I would say every day, take a minimum of a fifth of what you make and just store it up. Everything you make, just take a fifth. I would be taking a tenth right now, but just take a fifth of everything you make and store it up. Hey, where are we going to store it? Hey, click my link below. There's a link called Moo. They're going to give you a free share of Lucid. And you got to put a minimum of $100 in there and just keep storing it up. Don't worry about making the right plays over there, right? You also know about Weeble. Deposit $1 and they're going to give you a minimum of $36, but up to $12,600. I got to get those two in, right? So download them both, fund them both. The moral of the story is that They wind up gaining great wealth because of Joseph, because he had cash and he was able to go in and buy land, and he actually made them extremely wealthy because he did what was necessary, preparing for what was to come. And I'm charging you guys to do the same thing, even if you don't use my links. I want you to whatever trading platform you're using, all right? Just store up, and I want you to get ready for what's to come. And I'm going to tell you guys that this is a setup for a come up. When you hear people mention recession, I want you and I to look at it as a blessing, because we are going to buy stocks and crypto at deep discounts, oversold, under fair value, and then we're going to hold those stock when the next bull run happens. When does the bull run happens? Every time. The further away you get from a recession, you're heading towards another bull run. I'm gonna leave it right there, good people. Go study that story of Joseph. For those of you that are new to the page, this is how I get down. Hey, this is me. Everybody can be who they are. I don't really get into biblical stuff, Monday through Friday, but on Sundays, good people, this is how I give it to you. So I can't apologize for being me. Make sure you don't fall for any spam in the comment section. Stay positive, and let's stay focused so we could kill it. All right. And yes, there'll be money to be made before the recession happens. Just stay tuned. Make sure that notification bell is checked. I love you guys. Live, love, laugh, and learn.